Hey guys, I was thinking in the churches we had this thing where we read through the scriptures, read through the Bible in a year. Y'all ever do that? Read through the Bible in a year? I tried it. I read most of it, but couldn't get through the whole thing. It got pretty tedious. I couldn't keep up with it, and it didn't make sense. You know, I could read. I read that thing, just read it page after and flipping them. You know, going through it. I'll read it for a year. So I read it, most of it. I didn't read the whole blooming thing. I got sidetracked quite a bit. So anyway, I was sitting there and thinking about that. We miss a lot of stuff by doing that. We got to slow down, look stuff over, take our time and look things up, because you're missing a lot when you read it through that fast. I was looking at the King James here. For instance, just for instance, here in Galatians 3:26 and 27, just those two verses, says, King James, "For ye are all children of God by faith in Christ Jesus. For as many of you have been baptized into Christ have put on Christ." So I'm thinking, well, I don't understand. I don't understand what that said. We're all children of God by faith in Christ Jesus. For as many of you have been baptized into Christ have put on Christ. So what is that? So I've got the concordant literal, and so here's what it says in these two, okay, 26 and 27. It says, "For you are all sons of God through faith in Christ Jesus. For whoever are baptized into Christ put on Christ." So I back things up. All right. So, for you are all sons of God through faith in Christ Jesus. Now this one says, "For you are all children of God by faith in Christ Jesus." So what's the difference between the word by and through? We have by faith in Christ or through faith in Christ. Now what's the difference? So I looked up the word by, B-Y, and it means near or next to, and it also means it's the means of achieving something. So here we're children of God by faith in Christ Jesus. So is that our faith in Christ that makes us become children of God? See, this here says, "For you are all sons of God through faith in Christ Jesus." Now, here's the thing. The word through means continuing in time toward completion of. The synonyms are the whole time, all the time, from start to finish, without an interruption, non-stop, continuous. So it's through that faith, the faith, and the word faith has a little dot on it. And those dots in the concordant mean things, and they got different things in them. See, these here have all these little dots and symbols and stuff, and it tells what they are. So that dot is, where's that dot at? Get my eyes here so I can see it. Is the definite. It's a definite article. It's the word the, the could be put there. So it's where so that means it's the faith. Who is the faith? That's Jesus Christ's faith. The faith is what that is. So it's through the faith that is in Jesus Christ is what that's talking about. So then we continue. "For whoever are baptized into Christ put on Christ." So what is this? What's this baptized? What is that? And I thought, well, it's not. I thought it was water baptism. Well, it's not water baptism. Look back in Romans 6. Romans 6 verse 3 tells us. Or are you ignorant that whoever are baptized into Christ are baptized into his death? See, it's into his death that we are baptized. It's through his death. It's not in water. This is in his death. So whoever are baptized in his death, put on Christ. Okay, so what is put on? What does that mean? That word put on means to represent. So we represent Christ over here in Ephesians. Look at Ephesians 5 here. So to put on or to represent Christ, we become imitators. In verse 5:1 says, "Become then imitators of God as beloved children and be walking in love." So what do you mean walking in love? Well, that goes back to Galatians 5:22, right? It says, "Now the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, meekness, and self-control." See, so now when we see this, when we read this, it starts to make sense, because now we say, well, see that now, for you are all sons of God through faith in Christ Jesus. That's through Jesus Christ's faith. It's a continuous faith through Jesus Christ. It's his faith that gets us. All right. For whoever are baptized into Christ, well, we know this baptized means it's through his death. Into Christ, put on Christ. So that means we represent Christ, right? So the word into means to be enclosed or surrounded by. So we put on, we're into Christ, baptized into Christ, we're surrounded by. So it's pretty neat looking things up, and I enjoy that. So just a little something, when you start reading these scriptures and realize that these words, look them up, and because they mean things. Look back at what they was talking about in this part of it, where you read it in context. But yeah, it's pretty neat, looking things up is quite a fun deal. Anyway, all right, well, I gotta keep on going. I'll talk to you guys later.